Hello and welcome. Today, we'll be showing how to integrate Excel-based calculations into no-code platforms using SpreadsheetWeb API, focusing UIPath. Before diving into the platform configuration, let's take a quick look at our sample Excel file. This is a shipping calculator spreadsheet that includes various data tables and complex formulas across multiple sheets. However, we will only be focusing on the input sheet, where we define our input and output cells. The sheet requires 3 inputs: origination zip, destination zip, and weight. These inputs are used to calculate the shipping cost. Each input and output value are assigned a named range, which will be key in the integration process. Next, we will publish this Excel file as an API on SpreadsheetWeb. For simplicity, we will select Anonymous Access, though for enhanced security, you can choose the Require Authorization Access type. Once the API is published, make sure to record the Workspace ID and Application ID. First, after signing into UiPath, go to the Studio section on the left panel. Start a new project and choose Manual Automation. Next, to add the variables dynamically, add 3 set variable steps. Click on the menu next to the Create to use a variable text, then name the variables according to the input values you plan to use, leaving the default value section empty. In the next step, create another set value step and, following the same steps, name the variable appropriately for the request body. In this step, add the values from the variables we set up earlier into the request body to ensure the request body is dynamically populated with the correct values. For the next step, add an HTTP request call. Select the post method, add your endpoint, and manually set the content type application JSON header in the headers section. The body will use the variable we configured in the previous step. Make sure to open the Additional Properties section and set SSL certification to True and ensure that Accept Format is set to JSON. To check if the response is in the correct JSON format, we can add a log message action to map the response. To deserialize the JSON, add the Deserialize JSON action and map the JSON string to the response content. In the Additional Properties section, you can add a sample data object for testing, using the response from the log. Finally, add another log message to display the output value from the deserialization, and map the output to the log. Now you can move on to testing. Set the values for the input variables dynamically, run the test, and review the results in the log. To deserialize the JSON, add the Deserialize JSON action and map the JSON string to the response content. In the Additional Properties section, you can add a sample data object for testing, using the response from the log. Finally, add another log message to display the output value from the deserialization and map the output to the log. Now you can move on to testing. Set the values for the input variables dynamically, run the test, and review the results in the log. Upon pressing the button, API request is sent to SpreadsheetWeb with inputs. SpreadsheetWeb returns the calculated weight value that is displayed here. Change the weight and press the button again. recalculated cost value is updated.